Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, I made my big man a small forward in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. Do I regret it? Now, we're here to talk about that. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this 1 to 700 likes in the first 24 hours. And first of all, the thing that you probably understand from the title is that, oh, he's too small, like he can't hang with the bigs, stuff like that. When really, what it all comes down to is just the badges. So straight up, we're gonna go ahead and break this down for you guys piece by piece. I'm gonna start with my actual build and what I made, and then we'll explain what my quote-unquote dream build would be and what I likely might rebuild slash recreate into this power forward position right here. All right, now listen, one thing I really do want to explain in the intro of this video and make sure that I get this point across is that, again, the title, I made my big man a small forward in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. Do I regret it? The thing that I regret about this build is the badge count between this and the power forward. I 100% am not worried about the size of being 6'8" and guarding bigs, having 25 interior defense. Regardless, both my builds that I'm showcasing in this video have 27 defensive badges with 95 block and 95 rebounding and 6'8" with great physicals. So that is not the concern in this video. 100% you can play big man at 6'8", 230. It's perfectly fine. Max wingspan on top of that makes it so you have crazy defense. Again, this is not about lack of size and not being able to hang with the bigs down low. This is just straight up to show you guys that there's a better version of my build at power forward, and it's ridiculous. However, what I'm going to show you guys first, we're going to start with the small forward build that I already currently have. All right, so real quick, a look at the physicals. This is going to remain even for the power forward position as well. 6'8", 230. 7'6" wingspan, aka the max, can't go any further. And what this leaves you with is 76 ball control, 77 speed with ball. Keep that in mind. That's going to be super important when we talk about the power forward position. Now, what I did with this build, I can go ahead and show you guys piece by piece because I promise you I know all this stuff by heart to this point. So it's literally 21 for the finishing. Put your free throw up just enough to have the 6 shooting badges, and then max out everything playmaking to where you have the 18 playmaking badges. And that leaves you with the Hall of Fame dimer, bullet passer. But the one thing that you don't get is the Hall of Fame quick first step. Now, perimeter defense is going to go 84, steal as well 84, and then everything else is literally maxed except for the stamina. Now, this is the thing that really irritates me with the problem that I face with this build. Now, it's very similar to the exact same thing I'm going to show you with the power forward, but what you can see right here is 21 finishing, 6 shooting, the 18 playmaking, keep that in mind 100%, and then we got 27 defense, and then this also has pretty much max physicals. Now on top of that, I want to show you guys the takeover options as well. So we got all 3 of the slasher ones, the playmaker, lock, and glass. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the difference and what this power forward build is looking like. Now listen, man, prepare for a little bit of a rant because I feel straight cheesed, straight bamboozled by this myplayer builder system to where, look at this. This is the exact same build. Literally the exact same ratings are applied where I have the maxed on driving layup, driving dunk, standing dunk, boom, 21 finishing, right? But I do the exact same thing that I did previously where it's 86 mid-range, 81 three-pointer, and then put like literally only 2 this time into the free throw, and now I have 8 shooting badges instead of 6. Now that's not the most important thing when it comes to all this. Look at the playmaking, man. This was 18 at small forward. Now I do feel really bad, and I apologize to anybody who made my exact build and just saw that on day 1 and rolled with it that has the next gen stuff. I'm gonna put it to y'all like this. It's 100% not a bad build. I could still see myself running on that for the whole remainder of the year. However, I do see right now this exact opportunity that it would 100% make sense for somebody like me who's gonna be on this as a content creator super heavy all year to go ahead and just rebuild slash recreate the build into the power forward position. Now, one thing I do want to talk about with this build, instead of it being small forward to power forward, is get the contact dunks for the bigs rather than the small contact dunks. Me personally, I'm more of a slasher. I like to ice swing from the top and trying to get the contact dunks that way. I do not prefer the under basket contact dunks because, as you can see, I really don't care for doing anything underneath the basket except for standing dunks. But either way, my whole point is I don't really want to rely on the standing dunk like big man contacts. I know you still get a couple like driving contact dunk packages when you have the bigs, but either way, this build is just flat out better in every way possible. However, positionally, there is one thing that I want to talk about. Now, this actually benefits me in the sense that I'm going to be a power forward and I'm going to be lined up at the big man spot positionally. And then it makes it a little bit easier to be setting screens because for those of you who have watched the videos and stuff like that, you know, the little screen glitch BS where they get the switch off, then boom, I'm trying to screen the wrong matchup. For those who have watched the videos, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, my whole point with this and what's so cheese about this power forward thing right here. So at 6'8", a lot of people go with the 6'7" because they see that you can get the Hall of Fame quick first step, and then they even lower the wingspan a little bit too for the ball control sake. Now here's what I want to show you guys. At 99 overall, this gets 80 ball control, so still gets the ball control cap to get the pro dribble moves essentially, and then it gets 81 speed with ball. Now I'm going to show you guys what 81 speed with ball is going to do for you. So check this out. This is what the build is regularly. 77 speed with ball, 76 ball handle. Now, when you get the 77, you get handles for days, and then it's going to go to 80 by getting the 99, which is going to raise my attributes by 4. Now, speaking of attributes by 4, I'm going to take the speed with ball up to 81, and just like that, Hall of Fame quick first step. Now, that is something that my build will not be able to achieve at small forward position. For whatever reason, this game's just completely broken in the sense of power forwards getting Hall of Fame quick first step for whatever reason. And at a point guard spot, you need like 93, 94 speed with ball. I don't remember what it is. It might even be 91, honestly. But either way, you need like 90 plus speed with ball to get the Hall of Fame quick first step at the PG position. I don't understand why this is the case. It's really stupid in general, if you ask me. But it absolutely leads to being a complete demigod, man. And not that this is a big deal and not really even worth the time of the video, but one thing I want to mention as well is on my main build, I dropped the stamina to 91 because I thought you're going to get the +4s for the physical boost on top of that, but that's not the case this year. Apparently, you don't get the physical boost, so all you get is the +4 from your 99 boost. So that would mean that having 94 stamina would actually be pretty beneficial. I know it's just a difference of 3 stamina, like who even cares at that point, but just a small thing to mention. Now, this build in general, like you see, 21 finishing, 8 shooting instead of 6, and we'll talk about what this shooting even means instead for the power forward position than the small forward. But the playmaking is 100% what takes the cake for the difference in these builds. Now, I thought I pumped a whole ton into the playmaking when it comes to that small forward position. I literally maxed everything out in all 3 of these categories, but power forward position, for whatever reason, you get the Hall of Fame quick first step, you get like literally 9 extra playmaking badges, and a lot of people will see this video and they'll talk like, oh, 18 is already overkill, you don't even need that much. Listen, man, I'm somebody who's going to be running the slasher ISO stuff a whole lot, or just ISO in general whenever I have the ball, or pick and roll, to where me having things like dimer, bullet passer, needle threader, quick first step, yada yada, floor general, all types of stuff like that. Even downhill would be nice to have. And my whole point is 27 playmaking is perfectly a good amount when it comes to trying to ISO. You got things like handles for days I didn't even mention, obviously unpluckable on top of all that, even bailout, like special delivery. All these playmaking badges have good value, and that's how I see it. Now, nothing changes on the defense. I still have 84, 84, so you still get the Hall of Fame interceptor ability. You get, you know, these 2 badges right here with, I don't even remember what these 2 are called, to be completely honest with you. Now, this is what's really, really intriguing about this build right here. So on the main one, I showed you guys I could get the slasher, the playmaker, the lockdown in the glass, but instead on this build, I get the 2 sharpshooter options. Now, a lot of times I would not suggest people to run the sharpshooter takeovers because they have like super OD, like 90 plus 3-pointer, 20 plus shooting badges. You really should not struggle to shoot the ball when it comes to those types of settings. But for me, I still think that 8 shooting badges is going to be perfect. Like, I think 6 is like still pretty good, but it still makes it to where if I want to shoot deep threes, then I can't have any catch and shoot because I'm going to run hot zone hunter and then deep threes. Essentially, that's the 6 shooting badges. Now, with 8, I could run gold on deep threes and hot zone hunter. And then on top of that, I could still have the silver catch and shoot. And like I said, the playmaking is absolutely what is the huge difference when it comes to the badge spread on these builds. Now, the one thing I don't like about it, like I already said, is that I don't want the big man contact dunks. And personally, I still think being a small forward is something that I really ideally like, honestly. But when it comes to all this stuff, honestly, man, I would just like to run double sharp takeover, to be completely honest with you guys, because I feel like I'm already good enough at slashing stuff. I don't need a boost in this sense, and especially when I have like 90 plus in every category when it comes to the slashing. 21 finishing badges on top of that. So personally, if I were to ever run any takeovers other than sharp, it'd probably be something with glass as well, like box out wall or see the future, something like that. But anyway, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and put both the sharp takeovers on. I'm going to show you guys the build name title, Playmaking 3-Level Scorer, instead of my 2-way slashing shot creator. Now listen, I'm probably still going to run both builds if there's positionally a situation where I want to have the small forward instead of the power forward, whether it's just for the situations that I want to kind of cheese on the 2s and line up at the 1, or for the sake of guarding ISO, because switching those arrows can be super frustrating, to be honest with you guys. Now, I don't know what the situation is going to be when I run with the 6'7" power forwards, because I still have super high playmaking. So if I'm playing with somebody who lowered their pass accuracy, I think that I'm still maybe going to line up at the 1. I'm not exactly sure how it all works, but anyway, to go through the badges with you guys, like I said, I'm still thinking the silver catch and shoot, and then I go ahead and just run like simply deep threes and hot zone hunter on gold. Simple. Easy as that. And if I get super confident with the shooting, maybe I run hot shot on silver, or if I find out that I just want to spot up in the corner for that time, maybe I just run hot shot just like that, boom, and then I'm just spotting up in the corner, get crazy takeover, and then when I do get my takeover, just go nuts. Anyway, you get the deal. Shooting badges is pretty comfortable with the 8. For the finishing, this is real simple. These are the 5 badges I would 100% want to run. And then if I want to go ahead and maybe be more of a pick and roller, I would probably drop the Fearless Finisher a little bit, put it on Lob City Finisher. Either way, 21 finishing badges, perfectly fine enough. I really don't even think if I hit Legend that I would need any of this extra stuff. Maybe Highlight Film and Acrobat would be nice to run, or maybe just a little bit of Giant Slayer. But honestly, with how small everybody makes their bigs in this game anyway, and how the undersize is really the meta in this game, I don't really see Giant Slayer ever being something that's worth having. Now, this is where we get to the kind of shutting down the speculators as far as like the doubters of having 27 playmaking badges. Look at this stuff, man. It's literally ridiculous. Like, there are badges on here that I would 100% like to run. Things like Space Creator and Ankle Breaker. And then, I mean, even Needle Threader would be something nice to run. I don't know what the situation is with tight handles as far as like sizing people up when they're super high on you. Things like Bailout would still be nice on the 2s as well. I mean, there's so much stuff to this. Or for 3s, even Relay Passer would be something nice to run. Same as Downhill. There's literally not a single useless playmaking badge on here other than possibly Stop and Go, to be completely honest with you guys. And then probably Break Starter as well, to be honest. I mean, I already got like 92 pass accuracy and Hall of Fame Bullet Passer and stuff like that, so probably wouldn't need that. But anyway, my whole point is 27 is 100% not overkill. Like, for me to go ahead and show you guys what it looks like if I have 18 instead of 27, you got to drop things like Floor General and Special Delivery entirely, and then probably, I would say, something between Unpluckable and Handles for Days. Either way, this is what it's going to look like with 9 less playmaking badges. It is nowhere near the same exact thing. And I got to say, the 27 is going to be something that's crazy to have. So with all that said, I do apologize to anybody who made this exact same build expecting for this to be 100% perfect. Somebody showed this to me, and honestly, the crazy just like spurt of how this all came about for me to find out about this build. My boy Chris ZT was looking for a big man build. He looked up my video, mentioned me on Twitter, and said like, shout out to LakerFan for the crazy big man build. And then I was talking to him about the build, and then somebody in his mentions on Twitter showed this ridiculous build. So shout out to that dude. I think his name was like Takeover or something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and find out if he has a YouTube channel, and if he does, I will link him in the description for showing me this ridiculous build. Now, I'm kind of mad at myself, to be honest with you guys, because I flat out saw the ridiculous build, quote unquote, that I thought at that small forward position, and then I just rolled with it, and I didn't even look at the power forward stuff, man. And I feel so stupid for it, because when I found out about the Hall of Fame quick first step, I totally forgot about the fact that you get the +4s, and the +4 was the perfect threshold in both those situations to put you at Hall of Fame quick first step and pro dribble moves when you hit 99 overall. So this build is going to be absolutely insane. And then here's a look at the final stats again. Now, quick, I just want to talk about a timetable for what I expect and how soon for this to be done. Now, I'm not going to lie. You guys know it's Thanksgiving coming up tomorrow, and I'm going to be a little bit busy for the whole weekend. So I would say I would expect for me to get started on this build next week. I am super excited for all the news that the lag and the hitching and just whatever you want to call it, the chopping is the proper word for that. But anyway, I'm super excited to be running some 3v3 stuff. Now, with all that said, if I'm grinding this new build out, I could definitely see myself running some rec when I'm trying to get the defensive badges. And then on top of that, obviously, this is going to take some time to grind. Now, I'm already pretty much complete on the small forward build, so just keep all that in mind. I might even still run that build for like some gameplay and stuff like that, because I know you guys are fiending for some gameplay that's actually somewhat entertaining to watch, because all I've shown so far is straight 2v2 because the 3v3 has been 100% broken. So anyway, we're still going to try and stick to the regular content. I'm going to find ways to make the, interesting videos that we've been doing for the last 2 weeks or so, even 3 weeks, where I'm going to go ahead and try and keep things afloat while I'm still grinding this build. Now, if you guys want to follow along with the grind on this build, go ahead and drop me a follow on Twitch. I'm going to leave the link in the description as well, and that is where I'm going to stream the grind on this. Now, I don't want to do it on YouTube because personally I feel like that's just kind of drawing, things that my audience might not 100% want to see in the first place. Like, not all of you guys are going to be down to be watching me grind my career, all right? We all know that. Or just even in general, grinding the rec. And then I don't want to be super reliable as far as making it like the most A1 content that I possibly can at every given moment. So if you want to just support a little bit and follow the Twitch, that's likely where I want to transition my streaming to anyway, because if it's YouTube stuff, it gets real questionable, real sus, all right? I'm not a big fan of streaming on YouTube, so if you guys want to go ahead and follow me and transition over to the Twitch with me, then I'm going to leave the link in the description. Anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you made it to the end of the vid, put Twitch in the comments to support to me all the way through. And like I said in the intro, let's try this 1 to 700 likes in the first 24 hours. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.